This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Girl, real talk. This whole "it's a new year, time to reinvent myself" trash is not the vibe for 2024. You can find someone who loves you for you, as you are. You don't need to read a stack of self-help books, only eat sad salads, or start meditating at 5 a.m. to be ready for dating. So yeah, my advice is to download Bumble and find someone who embraces you the way you are right now. Let me know how it goes.
This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1200, 3 Communication Tips for Building Stronger Relationships, by Marc Chernoff of marcandangel.com. And I'm Dan, your host, and welcome to this Saturday edition of Optimal Work Daily. I appreciate you joining me today as we hear from Marc Chernoff about something that maybe doesn't come to mind first when you think about being a good employee or putting yourself in a position to get a better job, and that is communication and building relationships. So let's hear about that now as we jump into our post and optimize your life. 3 Communication Tips for Building Stronger Relationships, by Marc Chernoff of marcandangel.com. Last week, I was talking on the phone with my brother, and even though we live 2,000 miles away from each other, he could still feel my sour attitude. He asked me if everything was okay. I was a bit surprised because I thought I was covering up my mood quite well. I brushed off his question and told him I was fine. He wasn't buying it, and the rest of our phone conversation struggled along. People can feel the real message you are sending, whether you are talking to them on the phone, in person, or online. Don't just reach out to the fools. I'm convinced most people can smell fear and bull. If you try to cover it up, they may be fooled at first, but eventually they catch on. My subconscious usually picks up on whether or not people are sincere. If someone is being insincere, I can feel this, and I begin looking for validation. Even if it's just a split-second feeling, I will be on the hunt to make sure I'm right. My attention is distracted, and I have trouble taking the person seriously. That's why as communicators, writing, speaking, or body language, we have to believe that our audience is smart, savvy, and ready to find faults in our message. This also goes for an audience of just one. It's a problem that's easily solved as long as you remain true to yourself. If you believe in your message, then other people will trust you. This isn't always easy, so I've devised 3 questions that I ask myself before I talk to or write anything to anyone. Rules for communication. 1. Am I telling a story? People connect to a story, not just facts. 2. Do I really believe this to be true? When communicating, we need to believe in everything we say. And 3, is this valuable? Will the other person find humor or knowledge in the message? When I first started on Twitter, I was prone to just retweeting, sending out someone else's tweet, anything that seemed cool. There were times when I didn't even take the time to check out the source. So wrong on many levels. One time I retweeted a link and then clicked on it, and it took me to a jacked up site that gave no value at all. It actually had animated flying pigs on it, and they weren't even artistic, just a bunch of ugly pink pigs. The bottom line is you have to concentrate on sending out the right message to other people. Otherwise, you won't be creating a likable personal brand that separates you from the wannabes. In this day and age of social media, we all need to manage our personal brands. Future employers will be Googling your name to see if you're communicating certain messages online that don't mesh well with their corporate culture. You may not be trying to be an internet superstar, but surely you're trying to be the best communicator you can be. Because if you can't get your ideas across clearly and with conviction, no one will ever listen to you. Putting it all together. We live in the greatest era for communication, a time when we can create our own brand and package it in a way that makes us happy. 20 years ago, we were stuck with the channels of communication that big business gave us. Of course, we could put out a printed newsletter or zine, but it was costly and its reach was limited. Blogging, Twitter, Facebook, and other social media sites make it so much easier to spread our message and our brand. You now have the ability to create your own happiness through communication of your expertise. I write about work happiness, and right now there are more people working happy than ever before because they're able to express their true selves while they work. People like Brian Clark, Sonia Simone, and Leo Babauta have communicated from their heart, and now they have a dedicated following. They did this by believing so strongly in their message that nothing could hold them back from success. The key is knowing who you are and figuring out how to maximize your thoughts through communication. How do you optimize your ability to communicate well? It's not easy, but worth your time to practice it. Always remember the 3 words: story, heart, and value. 1. Story. Make sure you tell a story, one that helps people connect to a specific concept. Even the people who gossip about others know this because usually you are already intrigued by the person they're talking about. That's why it's hard not to listen. By sharing something about a person whom you already know, you can become more connected. Gossiping is wrong if it's done to tear someone down, but gossip can also be a positive. For example, a mother sharing a story about her daughter's relationship with a friend, or a manager sharing a story with her employee about another coworker's accomplishment in order to motivate her. This type of communication can help us get through a tough time or find a solution to a problem. 2. Heart. Before you say something, always check in with yourself for a half second to see if it's really what you believe. Do this again and again and again. The more time you take to develop this awareness, the more comfortable you will be with communicating to individuals and crowds. You probably think you do this, but do you really listen? The difference between a writer who makes it and a writer who is always trying rests in their passion for the truth. You can't believe what you want to believe because it's easier. You have to communicate straight from your heart, and that takes guts. And 3, value. Does this information help the person in some way? When telling a story, try to think of it as an opportunity to teach. I'm not talking about after-school special lameness. I'm talking about opening a person's eyes to new perspectives or motivating them to try something new. When you communicate with the people in your life, you are setting the tone for future interaction. If you create positive feelings, then they will want more stories from you and more time with you. If all you do is regurgitate other people's thoughts and ideas but don't check in with your soul first, eventually the people around you will notice and stop caring. Conclusion. You have to choose communication that will build stronger, healthier relationships. How are you improving your ability to connect to your true self so you can communicate your message effectively? Are you communicating from the deep depths of your heart? You just listened to the post titled 3 Communication Tips for Building Stronger Relationships by Marc Chernoff of marcandangel.com. You want consistency and quality, but you also want variety and freshness. If you run a business, you want it all. With nuts.com, you can get so many different delicious snacks and ingredients and know that they will consistently exceed your expectations. Nuts.com is your one-stop shop for the highest quality foods for business. They offer delicious office snacks, corporate gifts, and wholesale ingredients. And over 50,000 companies choose Nuts.com for their business needs, from offices to hotels to restaurants and retail stores. And we've even loved their product as remote workers. Nuts.com has sent us plenty of snacks that keep us energized and focused so we can deliver the best work that we can. Nuts.com makes ordering for your business quick and easy. Right now, Nuts.com is offering new business customers a free gift with purchase and free shipping on orders of $125 or more at nuts.com/OWD. So go check out all the delicious options at nuts.com/OWD. You'll get that free gift and free shipping when you spend $125 or more. That's nuts.com/OWD.
Girl, real talk. This whole "it's a new year, time to reinvent myself" trash is not the vibe for 2024. You can find someone who loves you for you, as you are. You don't need to read a stack of self-help books, only eat sad salads, or start meditating at 5 a.m. to be ready for dating. So yeah, my advice is to download Bumble and find someone who embraces you the way you are right now. Let me know how it goes.
And thank you so much to Marc for letting us share this post today. He and his wife Angel write about a pretty wide variety of topics, so you might have already heard them narrated across a bunch of our shows. Marc and Angel Chernoff are New York Times best-selling authors, professional coaches, full-time students of life, admirers of the human spirit, and they've been recognized by Forbes as having one of the most popular personal development blogs. Through that blog, as well as books, a course, and coaching, they've spent the past decade writing about and teaching proven strategies for finding lasting happiness, success, love, and peace. The goal of their blog is to give you the tools to identify and transform the limiting beliefs that keep you stuck. And they now have somewhere around 1,000 articles on happiness, productivity, emotional intelligence, relationships, and general self-improvement, and have over 200 million page views and 200,000 subscribers since 2006. And again, they are featured across a bunch of our shows in our network, so please do check out the other podcasts for more from Marc and Angel. But that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for being here and for being a subscriber or follower of the show, and I will see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.